Hi everyone, this is Valerie. Welcome to week 1 of Sw5030, Generalist Social Work Practice with a focus on social justice, strengths-based perspective, and working with individuals and families. I thought the first thing we do this week is review where items are found on the Moodle webpage and how to navigate to those items. So to reach Moodle, just type in moodle.csustan.edu. And I'm on Moodle quite frequently, so I've got a link to it already in my history, and it's going to show up right here. Now, at this point, unless you have had undergrad courses at Stan State, you'll probably only have 2 Moodle courses on your page. And just click on the page, and it will show you where we were yesterday. So just as a reminder, announcements are going to be here. Any questions you have about the course are located here. Or if you have a personal question, send me an email. That's better. And the Meet Your Classmates section is here. If you haven't filled out the Meet Your Classmates section, please remember to do so sometime in this first week. Here is the course introduction and expectations page. I want to point out that there is Moodle help and information can be found at the link right under this hello picture icon. The syllabus is located at this link here, as well as some other tips and sheets to help you get into studying here at Stan State. There's also tips for getting started with Moodle, student services at Stan State, and the OIT Help Desk. OIT stands for Office of Informational Technology. The next page is the assignments page. And while I've got all these pages open, I wanted to show you, you can close them by clicking on this arrow here. Once I get through a couple of weeks in the class, I start closing my pages so that I don't have to scroll through all that information. But here is a breakdown of the assignments and the points and the due dates. Just a reminder, the paper copy of the syllabus I handed out at orientation has the wrong instructions for assignment number 4. They're corrected here, and they're correct on the digital copy of the syllabus located at the link in the welcome section. Here is a discussion forum for assignment questions. So if you've got a question about it, somebody else probably has the same question. So don't send emails to me with questions about the assignments, but do make sure that you post them here so that everybody can have a look at them. Here are the links for the 2 written assignments that you'll turn in at the midway and the end of the course. And this is the page that we looked at yesterday. It also has a link to the NASW Code of Ethics so that you don't need to purchase a copy, and has links to the child abuse and older adult and dependent adult abuse and neglect indicators, and also another copy of our integrative practice matrix. We'll keep talking to you about the practice matrix throughout your 2 years at Stanislaus. It includes the foundations of our program, including change factors, conceptual foundations, and both micro and macro practice approaches that we teach in the program. So at this point, just read through that document, and we'll start helping you connect the dots and make those linkages in this course. So here we are at week 1. In my course, each page has the same format. Just a brief introduction about what we're going to do in this week, the readings, then activities, then assignments, then any type of link or document that you'll need to do the week's activities. So this week focuses on anti-oppressive social work practices. Social work is an interesting field. Many of the theories were developed by a very small socioeconomic demographic of people. For instance, in human behavior, you'll see that most of the theories that you're learning were developed by white males who are heterosexual from Europe during a certain time period, middle class, university educated. And so those theories are going to reflect both the conscious and unconscious biases of that group. So we have to pick them apart a little bit more as we do practice approaches in social work. And starting out with the anti-oppressive social work practice text really helps us get in the swing of looking at our theories, our practice approaches from the critical eye. So I have some activities this week, and these are for you to do on your own. They're not something to turn in unless I specifically say so. So in this week, there are activities for chapters 1 and chapters 2 of the Morgaine text, and it's really focused around activity boxes they have within those chapters. So doing that is something that you should do for yourself. Some people write it down, some people don't. Some people don't do them. So you have choices about how you manage these requests for activities. I think, though, that doing these activities are going to help you with completing the quizzes and also definitely with the discussion board activity. So the assignments are what's listed next, and there are links to each of the quizzes, and I want to click on the first one to show you what it looks like. So I've already started this because I wanted to make sure that the links were working. So I'm going to continue the last attempt. This is what it will look like for you if you work on the quiz for a little bit and then walk away from it. It's not done until you've submitted it. So when you open it up, it'll take you to the last page you were on, or it will take you to the first question, depending on where you left off. Here's a question page here. It gives you the options of A, B, C, and D. Up here is also a little navigation panel that will let you navigate to different questions, so you can go back to a question. If it has a gray box in the bottom, it means that you've completed it and that it's correct. And if you're having trouble with a question, you can also flag it by clicking this button, and it'll put a little flag in that quiz so that you know if you need to go back to the book to look for the answer, you can navigate right to that question without having forgotten which question it is. So here, let's look at this question. Oppression is defined as A, B, C, or D. I'm going to click on A, and you can check it to see if you've got this correct or not. And if you've got it correct, it will give you sort of a green highlight and a green check mark. If it's incorrect, it's going to give you a pink background highlight and a red check mark. So you can check your answers by doing this activity right here, and then you can navigate to the next page. It's going to take me to question 6, which I've already answered. And here we are at question 7. Privilege is defined as A, B, C, or D. I'm going to click on D and check it. So that's correct. So then I'm going to navigate to the next page. So when you want to finish the quiz, you can click on here, Finish Attempt, and it will take you to a summary page that will show you your flagged question and whether you have the answer correct, incorrect, or not complete. So you can navigate away from this page, and your answers will still sit there, or you can return to the attempt and it'll take it back to the next question that you want to answer or that you've not yet answered. So I'm going back to Finish Attempt. When you're done, submit all and finish. And I need to change this date on all the quizzes. It's October 11th is when the end of the class is. So when you click Submit All and Finish, you cannot navigate back to the quiz. The score is whatever score you earned by taking this quiz. So don't do this until all these are listed as correct. So there are a couple of ways of navigating back to the page. We can click on, I like using this ribbon here. It gives you where you can click back to in different parts of the class. You can click back to the beginning of the quiz. One other thing I frequently do is I click on this option to take me back to the class so that I can scroll my way down to the first week and see where we are. So the other activity for this week, other than the 2 quizzes, is the discussion board. And everybody this time is going to submit an individual answer to the discussion board, and then I'd like you to loop back and look at other people's posts. So each person will earn 5 points, and it's due at midnight next Sunday. Now, I've set this up in groups, and I'd like a couple of you to click on this and see if you only see the people in your group. I don't have the option of looking at it to see what it looks like from the student's perspective. So I need to make sure you can only look at your own group's discussion board and you can't see anybody else's. So once a couple of people have let me know that, I'll either fix it or I'll send an email to everybody saying it's good to go. And do this before you post your discussion board responses. So what does anti-oppressive social work practice mean to you? You can, what I'd like you to do is think of what your identity is as an anti-oppressive social work practitioner. And it's your current definition of what anti-oppressive social work practice is. So you can post your thoughts written out as in a text. You can use images, video, audio, music, link to a URL, or any other medium or artifact that expresses yourself best. But if you add an artifact like a video or an image, please add a few words to indicate how this represents your definition. So remember also that words, images, music, they're very powerful. You're in charge of what you share in my classes. But be mindful that others might respond differently to your thoughts and feelings and artifacts. And I would expect that folks might disagree. But if you do so, please do so in a respectful and strengths-based manner. We really need to have a course where we can trust each other, and you're really at the engagement period right now with each other and learning to trust each other. So let's create a class vibe that is really one where we can share thoughts and feelings with each other, and do so in a place where we won't be bashed for our ideas. So do this by August 25th at 11:59 p.m. and this discussion board is going to remain open for the duration of the course, because you might change your ideas, or you might change your thoughts about how you responded to somebody and might want to go back to that and revisit that. To do your own, the discussion board can be a little clunky, so to add your own entry, I want you to go back and add a new discussion topic and put your name in the subject line, Valerie's ideas about anti-oppressive social work practice, or Sheena's images about anti-oppressive social work practice, and put all your text and links here so that the folks in your group can see it right when they open the page. Don't use the attachment at the bottom of this page. It just requires folks to have to click too many times. So use this icon here for a still image, use this icon here for a video image, and then use a link to link us to audio files, URL, etc. And if you want to type, you just click in the box and you type whatever you want to say. So you have to click on the post to forum to get the post to work. And I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to navigate here back to the page. It's going to remind you that changes you made may not be saved, which it won't be unless you say to post it. And even if you post it, you will have time you can always edit your post, and I believe you can delete your post for up to 30 minutes. So if you want to click out of it and start over, you can do that. So that's week 1, 2 chapters of reading, a little bit of the Code of Ethics, some questions for you to consider, 2 quizzes, and the discussion board activity. So I hope you all have a good week, and I look forward to reading your discussion board posts.